entertainer. So I see a lot of opportunities where other people in our business don't necessarily see them. When I say our business, I mean the entertainment business. Don't necessarily see those opportunities. And I have built the relationships to hopefully capitalize on those.
So with the changes that are taking place almost daily in the industry, what do you see as the most interesting opportunities over the next 5 years, and how are you going to be playing a part in those kind of things?
You know, it really, that's a moving target, that question. I think that the biggest opportunity is the old school music business people, like the good old boys, that don't want to change, or, with all due respect, don't have the capacity to change. I think that's where the real opportunity lies. You know, the most opportunity that we've ever had have been the last 2 years in this recession. The biggest time, I mean, what part of buy low, sell high are people not getting right now? I mean, you know, real estate's, there's a half price sale in real estate right now. The same way with the music business. And, you know, there's huge opportunities in new technology and new ways of doing things. And rather than scratching and holding on by a thread, which a lot of I see every day in our industry, we should be embracing and really cultivating and figuring out how to harness that and in return, obviously monetize it, to be part of it going forward.
So we got a few minutes left for questions. Questions from you folks. Over here.
Yeah. Is the real estate business still going?
Yes, it is. We are. We're going to end up with about 100 units, and my brother's running it, and we've really working on getting our debt cleaned up, and eventually want to be debt free, and from a business standpoint, so yes.
Other questions?
Somebody's got to have some.
Oh, over here.
Yeah, I was wondering, does your brother have any aspirations to be in the entertainment industry as well, or is it?
That's a great question. The question was, does my brother have any aspirations to be in the entertainment business? And no, not really. He's also a dwarf, and he enjoys the perks. I get him tickets and meet and greets and passes to things, and he comes out to one of our shows, and he's even come out and ridden on the bus before. But he's pretty content to be in Seymour, and kind of he's actually got the best of both worlds, where he can have the perks and still live anonymously. He has been at shows though. I'll get to you in a second. He was at a, I hooked him up for Zach Brown in Indianapolis, and he gets mistaken as 2-Foot Fred sometimes. I was making him a shirt.
So does he correct them, or does he take advantage of that?
Well, yeah. I'm not really sure if I'm getting the full answer to that. It may depend on the situation.
Exactly.
It may depend on how cute she is.
Exactly.
There's a question over here.
Do you have any goals for the entertainment industry right now, or are you just taking it as it comes?
My goal is to own it. No, I feel very, there's times in the business, in the entertainment business, where I felt very defeated, very unrespected, very, or disrespected, very, almost like a 12-year-old kid. But as time goes on, and a person matures in the business and really understands how things work, feel very confident that I will be, if I'm not already, at some point, but I'll be a very major player in the future.
Do you think that has been due in part because there's such a persona built around you from the beginning, that you were this
I was
small man?
cartoon character. I was a cartoon character, and you know, somewhere in the 2007, 8 area, John, I think, kind of recognized that and said, you know, why don't you kind of lose the fluffy orange hat and the tie dye, and why don't you start dressing, you know, like a suit, or like his word was pimp, but pimp out, but so a little more rock star. And so I really took that, you know, to heart. And
did you get criticism from people for?
You know, in the beginning, that's a great question, and actually it's a question that I got a lot. I've gotten for a while. Yeah, I got a lot of, you know, we got a lot of people saying, well, Big and Rich are exploiting you, and you know, like blah blah blah. And I said, first of all, who's exploiting who? Second of all, I'm freaking living the dream. I'm having a great time, and you know, spend 5 minutes with me, 2 minutes with me, and you're gonna know that nobody's gonna exploit me. It's either gonna be the other way around, or you know, I'm one of the guys. But with that being said, you know, I actually have made the decision in the last 6 weeks to quit drinking. And alcohol is a large part of our industry. And I was, from time to time, as was most of the people that I hung out with, you know, alcohol was a component of our behavior. And
You're
so,
drunk a lot.
well, I mean, yeah. On tour.
I know you're trying to make it sound more sophisticated at university, but let's call it what it is.
Yeah. You know, and so, but I realized very quickly that was also a component of the maturing process and time to grow up, and I also figured out that if you're at a entertainment business function and you're sober and everybody else is drinking, that you can get a lot of information that way. You can, yeah. So instead of cleaning up the mess the next morning, you know, with the Twitters and Facebooks and text messages that you shouldn't have sent, somebody else is doing that, and you're sitting back with all the info.
Very good.
There's got to be more questions than that.
One more. How has the industry melded with your personal life? How do those two go together?
That's a great question, and I think that to tag on what I just said, I think that 2 Foot Fred and Fred Gill were kind of, I think the alcohol was kind of merging that into one person. And I think that while 2 Foot Fred is a personification of me, I am that businessman, and I take a real insightful look, and also, you know this, but I'm writing a book with Simon & Schuster, got a publishing deal, where I'm talking a lot about my youth, and if I could leave you with one thing today, I would say always keep in check if your 12-year-old self would be proud of your present-day self. And mine would not have been, but mine would be right at this moment. But I was a little bit, you know, I was living the dream. I'm still living the dream, but I was, you know, sex, drugs, and rock and roll, baby.
Now you remember the dream when you wake up. The lesson that I take out of this, and I hope all of you who paid attention as part of this, is just the power of that network of people that you build. And I think too often You see so many people go out and they're passive and they're waiting for things to happen to them. It's not going to happen to you. You've got to get out and make it happen. I met Fred because he got right in my face and said, "I need to meet you. I want to meet you. You're somebody I want to get to know, I want to meet," and he wasn't shy about it, and he was very genuine in every interaction, and based on our relationship, there are things that we can do for each other, and that's what a network really is. A network is not where you sit and just take. A network is a group of people where you have an exchange of things where you can help each other, and that's what our relationship has developed into over the last several months. We've gotten to know each other, and there's things that he's been able to do to help our program, and there's been things I hope we can do to help him in his journey as well. So always keep that in mind in terms of networking. It's got to be that relationship, and it's got to be genuine, and it's got to have substance for it to work. So thank you all for being here, and thank you, Fred.
Thank you.